क्या क्या लगाएंगे आज मेहंदी में? विमेन टेलिंग विमेन स्टोरीज लिखेंगे या तृप्ति डिमरी का नाम छुपा देते हैं कहीं हाथ में मेहंदी लगा के?
We are being called a chudail all the time.
Neal N Nikki, sweet and sexy.
Yes.
Full on rocking, hot and happening.
Yes. You know, when you see retrospectively, it looks like magic.
Yeah.
When it unfolds.
Does then that give you the greed to then maybe pander a little bit more to that audience that is resonating with?
भाई अब तो हम 52 के हो गए, अब हमसे पैंडर पुंडर नहीं होता. पैंडर पुंडर नहीं होता अब.
फिल्म क्रिटिक या फीमेल राइटर, फीमेल फिल्म मेकर बोलकर ये अदरिंग करने वाले ना बहुत हैं इंडस्ट्री में, दुनिया में, कि ये तो सिर्फ औरतों की बातें करती है या औरतों की फिल्में बनाती है. बट ऑल्सो लाइक हाँ औरतों की बातें करती है तो it isn't that men have not been able to write some nuanced women and women have not been able to write some deeply realistic men. But women telling women stories का एक मैजिक मेरे लिए तो अलग ही होता है. To be able to tell our own stories is such a hard fought battle. मैं women telling women stories की t-shirts बेचती हूँ online. Perhaps that is why whenever I have met Anvita Dutt, it has felt like we've known each other forever despite this only being our third meeting. हम जब इस शो का लाइनअप क्यूरेट कर रहे थे, I was like, अन्विता से तो बात करनी है क्योंकि नील एंड निकी स्वीट एंड सेक्सी से लेकर कला तक, छलिया से लेकर हर जाया तक, मुझे सब अनपैक करना है मैम के साथ बैठ के आज. एंड आई एम सो ग्रेटफुल दैट शी इज अग्रीड टू नॉट ओनली गिव अस सम ऑफ हर फुर्सत का टाइम, but also to do up my hands in the most joyous way possible with one of the best fursat activity ever. We're going to be doing this today. Mehendi. Hi Anvita.
Hi Sucharita.
Thanks for coming today.
हम जो SUPW करे, thank you so much for having me.
SUPW. क्या क्या लगाएंगे आज मेहंदी में? विमेन टेलिंग विमेन स्टोरीज लिखेंगे या तृप्ति डिमरी का नाम छुपा देते हैं कहीं हाथ में मेहंदी लगा के? She's doing very well for herself.
She's doing so well. I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
Because I think somewhere you always set out. क्या फायदा जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा वाली situation है. They everybody who comes to this town, it's कि हम कुछ बने, लोग हमें जाने, we get more work, better work, and therefore then you get the agency to choose the roles that you want to do. And I think every actor, gender aside, is looking for that.
Yeah.
I at least उतने पैर जमा लूँ कि मैं हाँ या ना बोलने की freedom मेरे पास है.
Yeah.
And I think she's reached there with Animal, and it's opening up doors for her like anything, and that's incredible. Because see वो अच्छी forget अच्छी, बहुत ही बढ़िया actor तो already है. What she needed was the platform to launch off, which I think she's got.
Yeah, but the way to get there has certainly been Qala, and before that Bulbbul. So
aren't we a little far from each other to do this mehendi situation?
you want to do my foot?
हाँ, such pretty feet you have.
नाजुक पैर, मुमताज महल में ही हूँ. पर अच्छा आपकी फिल्मों के ऊपर इतने because your films also lend to interpretation also ना. Bulbbul lends itself to interpretation a lot. Qala lends itself to interpretation also. So what have you read anything like which you're like ये तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं था, ये क्या interpret कर लिया लोगों ने रिव्यू देख के?
No, I remember. I really want to. I don't know if it's correct to talk
appropriate
to talk about
everything
your
is
review.
appropriate.
I will not talk about your review so much as I remember. So when the first review dropped,
yeah,
which was late into the night for Bulbbul. So first film, पहला review रात को आया, तो सिद्धार्थ ने मुझे phone किया, and one of those rare things, मैं जगी हुई थी, नहीं तो मैं बहुत जल्दी सो जाती हूँ. And because obviously you're waiting to know what happened. We read it. It was a good review. मतलब कुछ 3.5 stars थे, पर मैंने पढ़ा, मैंने कहा ये I don't know what's going on now. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, what is being said about the film. And I decided, so I went off to sleep and I woke up in the morning, I decided I'm not going to look at reviews.
At all.
So in fact, the only reviews I know about is whether it was Karnesh or Anshay or Siddharth or Meenal or Veera or friends,
Yeah.
Manish Sharma
Yeah.
from YRF,
Yeah.
Motwani, Makhija. I mean, the friends were calling and saying, "Ye pada," or sending. So then I would look at it because I was like, I made it because I know. So what I did was I got up in the morning, I had my breakfast, and I made myself a beverage. And I put my feet up, wore a kaftan, put my feet up, and I said, "Dekho, it's here."
हाँ.
I could see it on Netflix.
Picture आ गई है.
And I played it. Not really was it, just enjoyed it कि मैंने एक कमरे में बैठ के कुछ लिखा. कुछ 150 लोग came to enable it,
Yeah.
to make it happen.
Yeah.
And she's here. That's just my firstborn.
And she's
I don't want to think about what other people think. That came later.
Yeah.
That I sat down and watched. I said, "Yeah, you're right. I should watch out for this the next time round."
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
started
So
doing
that
that.
sort of feedback you were taking from
Oh yes,
certain reviewers, though,
yes,
not everybody.
not everybody. But your review when it came was Anshay called me.
Yeah.
And he said, "Tell me something." I said, "What?" सुचारिता तेरी दोस्त है क्या? तू उसको जानती है क्या? So I said, "Of course, everybody knows Sucharita."
Who does it? वो कौन है जिसने मुड़ के मुझे नहीं देखा?
Correct.
Rubbish.
So then,
Then?
and then he said, "Those was," he said, "Everything that you ever said about your, that actually this is about this, and you know this stands for it, whatever." So सारी चीजें जो आधी चीजें सबके सर के ऊपर से जा रही होती थी. He said, "She has verbatim quoted you. You have sent her the review."
And you and I first even spoke after Bulbbul had released. I think we first started exchanging messages after I had watched Bulbbul.
Yeah.
Then I met you for the first time after Qala had released, right before Qala was releasing.
When we were
हमने वो
promoting.
event किया था
Correct,
अपने कॉम्यून
correct.
के साथ ऑन ग्राउंड.
Correct.
तृप्ति आप और स्वास्तिका जी थे.
Correct.
फिर एक में कौसर और स्वानंद अलग थे. और फिर दूसरी हमारी मुलाकात हुई थी, हम अंधेरी में मिले थे. पर this is literally the third time we're ever meeting. We've only met
Yeah.
twice, Anvita.
We've only met twice.
And yet हमारे हेयर स्टाइल भी सेम है, हमारे ख्याल भी सेम है.
Correct.
एक चीज जो हमारी सेम नहीं है, टैटूज. मुझे बड़ा डर लगता है टैटू कराने से. आपने कितने कराए हुए हैं?
I think there might be 36. छोटी छोटी से हैं, cute.
क्या फेवरेट सबसे पहला कौन सा था? चलो ये बताओ.
पहला was it's a lotus.
हाँ.
It's here. The second, when I started writing, when I wrote the Bachna Ae Haseeno के dialogues, I got this tattoo.
Once upon a time.
हाँ. I was like, अब मैं ये करूँगी, अब मैं कहानियाँ सुनाऊँगी.
और एक और बहुत खूबसूरत उसके नीचे लिखा हुआ, आपने इमरती क्या ना करती.
फिर jokes are also there.
तो आप क्या गजनी की तरह जोक्स लिखते रहते हो हाथ पे?
Jokes मेरे को बड़ी मजा आते हैं.
बड़ी आई. I love that because जिंदगी में ये सुन के मैं बड़ी हुई हूँ लोगों से. बड़ी आई.
बड़ी आई.
क्या
करे.
है? तू क्या समझती है
सच
अपने?
में आई
बड़ी आई.
बड़ी.
आई बड़ी आई. आपका बैकग्राउंड एडवर्टाइजिंग का है. आपने 14 साल एडवर्टाइजिंग
15 almost.
15 साल आपने एडवर्टाइजिंग में बताए. फिर आपका नाम किसी ने आदित्य चोपड़ा को रेकमेंड किया लिरिक्स लिखने के लिए.
नहीं.
कहानी लिखने के लिए.
नहीं, किसी ने नहीं रेकमेंड
तो
किया.
फिर
I went to Yash Raj to meet a friend. We were supposed to meet for coffee, पर वो मीटिंग के लिए गई हुई थी यश राज में और उसको थोड़ी सी देर हो रही थी. मुझे ये भी नहीं पता था वो यश राज में. She said मेरी कोई मीटिंग है रमाडा इनके पास. ठीक है.
जुहू में.
जुहू में.
हाँ.
So she said, so we'll go out for coffee or whatever. And as I was reaching, she said it's getting delayed. You know, उसके सामने एक गली है, गली के एंड में एक बंगलो है, वहाँ एक ऑफिस है. तो जस्ट छोटा नहीं मतलब बड़ा बंगला था, but it's not the size it is now.
हाँ.
So she said, come, we'll leave together. So I went, and as I was climbing, it's a typical जैसे बंगलोज होते हैं, अंदर घुसो, एक थोड़ा छोटा सा लॉबी वाला एरिया था और सीढ़ियाँ थी ऊपर. So as I was going up, I was like, कभी कभी का पोस्टर.
तो आपको पता नहीं था कि आप कहाँ हो?
मैं यशराज में भी वो नहीं पता था. Only when I started climbing the stairs, I was like,
ये तो जाने पहचाने पोस्टर लगे.
चोपड़ा का पोस्टर. At some point in time, I remember someone walked into the cafeteria and I looked up because खाली था. ये दोनों बैठे हुए थे, this friend of mine and the director, and I was sitting one chair छोड़ के I was having my coffee and reading.
हाँ. तो आप पहुंच गए यश चोपड़ा के पास और आपको पता नहीं है कि आप यश चोपड़ा में पहुंचे हुए हो।
मतलब यश राज फिल्म्स,
सॉरी, यश राज फिल्म्स के ऑफिस में पहुंचे हुए हो, आपको कोई आइडिया नहीं है कि तो क्या बचपन से ऐसे हो आप, थोड़ा मतलब पता नहीं कि कहाँ जा रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं, बस हो जाता है, पहुंच जाते हैं?
you know, when you see retrospectively, it looks like magic
Yeah.
when it unfolds
Yeah.
like that. Now again, retrospectively, everything seems.
Destiny.
I had a teacher called Mrs. Raghuveer.
हाँ.
Okay, she was the coolest teacher in school. Okay, for the couple of years that I was in that school, she was the English elective teacher. She was a dude. She had this look like she could make you look foolish just by listening to you, kind of.
I've had those teachers.
Yeah, she was so cool.
And they're always English teachers.
She was just amazing. I loved her. I was just. So she was somebody I thought was amazing because I mean there are many stories of her. वो मैं बाद में बताऊंगी.
हाँ.
I was walking out. We'd just given 11th exams, and I was walking out, and she stopped me. She called me. She used to call me Little Aryan. So she said, you at that time I was very little. I was 4'11" when I passed out of 12th. So you can imagine what.
4'11". So you shot up after you graduated school?
In college.
Hi. Shot up. मैं तो 13 साल के बाद
No, I was so upset because I'd just wrapped my head around the fact that I'm petite.
You're gonna be a short person, but
no, petite, and now I'm average height.
What is your height now?
I don't know, 5'4" and something.
हाँ, you're taller than me. Stop talking about height now.
Yeah, it's nonsense. I think tiny girls are so cute. Anyways.
Cut to.
So she calls me and she said, I wanted to talk to you. What have you decided?
Yeah. बड़ी आई.
I have a great idea.
She's tracing my kismat lines on my hands.
And making new kismat lines.
New kismat lines.
देखो, why not?
तो आपकी टीचर ने आपको बुलाया कि बेटा तुम्हारे अंदर क्या लिखने का टैलेंट है?
Yeah, she just stopped me. She said, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, a chef. She looked very confused. She was like,
chef?
She said, but you're a writer.
Yeah.
So
this is your English teacher.
So I'm just looking at her. She says, you're a storyteller.
Yeah.
She said, I look forward to your answers because they read like stories.
What a lovely thing for a teacher to say to a student.
And you have no idea, for the first time in my life, literally, I felt seen. Not that I wanted to be a storyteller, but someone thought about me in a certain way, and then communicated it to me.
Yeah.
And you know, you need one person in your life, just one person who does that.
Yeah.
And it will change
your
everything.
trajectory.
Because she was so cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, every time in my life, whenever I felt on my own, no one else needs to make me feel like that, or other people have made me feel that I can't do something.
Yeah.
I always thought, but Mrs. Raghuveer said that I could. Till now.
Thank you, Mrs. Raghuveer. You are indirectly responsible for Tripti Dimri's success today. So thank you. I'm being facetious, but that's really, what a sweet story.
Yeah, so she said that she said, but if you were to be a writer, what would you be? So I said, but I don't. She said, what would you be? Now it's Mrs. Raghuveer asking, so you don't mess around. So I said, then I would like to write songs and I would like to write films. She said, I know nothing about the film industry except for the fact that it's in Bombay. I don't think you are cut out for journalism, you're too sensitive. But maybe you should join advertising. That's also in Bombay. Go to Bombay, join advertising, find your way around Bombay and figure out how to get into the film industry. That's exactly what I did.
Yeah. One step at a time.
Of course, for 15 years in advertising, मैं वो हो जाता है ना जब आप दोस्तों के साथ शाम को बैठे होते हैं तो आप कहते हो एक दिन मैं गाने लिखूंगी, but you don't really do anything about it till this यशराज में मीटिंग फ्रेंड है.
तो कट टू दिस दिन आप पहुंच गए हैं यश चोपड़ा के ऑफिस और आपको पता नहीं है कि आप यश चोपड़ा के ऑफिस में हैं और वहां पे आप पहुंचे, तो फिर आपको ये हाउ डज दैट ट्रांसलेट टू गेटिंग टू स्टार्ट राइटिंग सडनली यश राज फिल्म्स?
It translates that at some point in time this guy entered, my age, मेरी एज का था 30s में.
He enters the room, you're sitting there.
So I don't know who he is.
Have you clocked that you're in Yash Chopra's office by
that
now?
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know who this person is. And anyway, so
and it's not Yash Chopra because we know who Yash Chopra is.
Yeah. So then I've sitting over there, and these guys were talking about some character in some film that they were writing, and they were talking about कि इस शहर में ऐसे छोटे शहर में something, and I said I know nothing about this, but whatever you're saying, but what if ऐसे होता, क्योंकि लड़कियां तो ऐसे सोचती है, और छोटा, I grew up in small town India, and this is what it is, and there's a certain kind of quiet strength, और ऐसे करके मैं कुछ
पर्सपेक्टिव दे दिया बैठे बैठे.
And they very sweetly and indulgently and patiently heard me out, but with the thing of कि obviously I know nothing about the film. I'm just giving my 2 bits. Next day I get a message on SMS, on the WhatsApp nahi tha, saying, hi, this is Aditya Chopra. You came to our office yesterday. Could I meet you? And I'm like,
तो जो बंदा जो कमरे में घुसा था उस दिन वो था,
मुझे अगले दिन ही पता चला जब मैं ऑफिस गई और मैंने दरवाजे पे खटखटाया. It was him,
आदित्य चोपड़ा. कबीर खान said the same thing कि जब काबुल एक्सप्रेस की स्क्रिप्ट लेकर वो घूम रहे थे इधर उधर और कोई प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर रहा था, तो उनको भी मैसेज आया कि आदित्य चोपड़ा तक आपकी स्क्रिप्ट पहुंची और वो आपसे मिलना चाहते हैं. तो ही वाज लाइक, आदित्य चोपड़ा असली भी है कि नहीं मुझे नहीं पता, क्या बकवास कर रहे हो. हाँ, तो ये वो क्या बकवास करे, आदित्य चोपड़ा मुझसे मिलना चाहता है. बट अपेरेंटली आदित्य चोपड़ा डिड दिस थिंग वेयर ही रीच्ड आउट टू न्यू टैलेंट दैट ही सॉ.
He does it all the time.
That's really, I mean, I wish I could sit with him also and have a conversation, but वो तो मिलते नहीं है किसी से. So फिर क्या हुआ? फिर उन्होंने आपको क्या गाना दिया?
He just announced. He said, "What? So I believe you're in advertising." I said, "I've just put in my papers." He says, "So you're a writer?" I said, "Yes, in advertising." He said, "No, you're a writer. You're a storyteller." So it was like verbatim of what Mrs. Raghuveer had said. He said, "I think you're a film writer. So will you write for me?" I said, "But I don't know how to." He said, "That's okay. I mean, you just try it." He says, "I have a screenplay. The way you were talking and the way you were saying how this girl will talk, I thought it'd be interesting. Why don't you do dialogues?" Blank. So I asked him, "What is screenplay? And what is dialogue? फर्क क्या होता है?"
Stop it.
एक स्क्रिप्ट होती है ना, मुझे क्या पता कि अलग
स्क्रीनप्ले और डायलॉग.
So then he explained to me what screenplay and dialogue. So he says, "You will do dialogues." So ऐसे ये तो समझ आता है कि लोग बातें करेंगे ना, तो वो मैं लिख लूँगी. हाँ. That's how it happened. So he.
और कौन सा था वो प्रोजेक्ट?
That was Neal N Nikki.
Neal N Nikki, sweet and sexy.
Yes.
Full on rocking, hot and happening.
Yes. मेरे करेक्ट.
बहुत अच्छा गाना है, मतलब बहुत अच्छा गाना है, बहुत empowering गाना है. She's full on rocking.
He only told me one day, announced, "You are a lyricist." Like that, he's been announcing things to me. He told me many years before I wrote Bulbbul. Actually, just after Bachna released, he said, "You're a director." I said, "You can't keep saying this to me, that you are this, you're that."
So was he the first one to sort of say that to you? Because I know you said in interviews कि कश्यप ने भी आपको बोला था, अनुराग कश्यप ने, कि तुम्हें डायरेक्टर करनी चाहिए. But first was Aditya Chopra.
Aditya Chopra told me after I finished writing, Bachna Ae Haseeno had not even released. He said that, "तू director है."
कमाल है. Faith. पूत के पालने में पाँव नजर आ गया आदित्य चोपड़ा को सबसे पहले. बट आपको जो एडवर्टाइजिंग का प्रोसेस बैकग्राउंड है, जिसमें आप एक मैसेजिंग के बारे में सोच ही रहे हो कॉन्स्टेंटली कि जो वर्ड्स हम बोल रहे हैं, जो वर्ड्स हम दे रहे हैं सामने, उनसे इम्पैक्ट क्या हो रहा है, उसका रिटर्न क्या आएगा, हाउ आर पीपल गोइंग टू प्रोसेस दिस एंड हाउ इज दिस गोइंग टू देन टर्न इनटू समथिंग, the impact that we want that this should have, this ad should have. Does that seep into your screenwriting? Do you feel कि शुरू में होता था, अब नहीं होता है, कि वो सोच के पहले कि इससे लोग रिएक्ट कैसे करेंगे फिर लिखें?
See, there is merit to things like research and things like that, which advertising, and I especially worked on brands that are very research heavy. I worked on Unilever ke brands and things like that. So there is merit to that. There is a thing of understanding how people work and function.
Yeah.
That is very important to know when you're trying to sell a brand, and also when you have 30 seconds to communicate something.
हाँ, correct.
But in any other kind of storytelling, whether it's a novel or a short story or a film or a series, see, you have to tell the story in the truest form, how that story wants to be written, the truest, what is true to that story. what helps me is the fact कि मैंने किए वो 15 साल research मैं हूँ फौजी बच्चा. I've lived in different parts of the country. And by the time I came to filmmaking, film writing, I was in my mid-30s. By the time I shot Bulbbul, I was 47. तो couple that with I'm trying to tell the story और मुझे ये सब मुझे पता है, मुझे ये सब अपनी कहानी के बारे में पता है, मुझे ये सब जीने के बारे में पता है, मुझे ये सब ये इस समय क्या सोचेगी के बारे में पता है. तो उस honesty के साथ you can write and then you take feedback from other people. I don't think you can go out there and try to analyze what will work.
And reverse engineer that from
No.
to your writing process. Yeah.
It's like second guessing a story that's horrible.
Speaking of you know, मैंने खराब कर दिया. Designed already.
खराब.
खराब बहुत सुंदर था ना वो to begin with.
Correct.
पर
क्या बनाए इसको कि मैं क्या करूं?
आगे पूरी कर दो ना मेरी मतलब किस्मत अधूरी क्यों छोड़ रहे हो? अभी किस्मत लिखी जा रही है.
भाई साहब.
अन्विता दत्त क्या तो. बट आपने बोला कि अभी आप 30s में थे जब एक नया फेज शुरू किया. और आपने पहले भी बोला था इंटरव्यूज में कि आप 30s में आप नहीं आप one of the reasons that you write the stories that you do is that you don't want everybody to wait till the 30s to figure out क्या कर रहे हैं लाइफ में और क्या हो रहा है क्योंकि वो आपके पास नहीं थी. बट मेरे 30s इतने पसंद है ना. मैं इतनी एम्पावर्ड कभी नहीं रही हूँ पहले. मैं अभी 36 साल की हूँ.
Wait till 40s happen and wait till 50s.
Hey, it gets even better.
Oh my God.
Talk to me about that. How your life changed in the 30s and then in the 40s again and then now in your 50s?
So actually 20s में आपको लगता है आपको पता है आप कौन हो.
Cooler than everybody else around you.
No, it's an idea of yourself that you have. It's an idea that has been either fed to you or you've read about it or you watched. So now in your mind's eye, you're making this jigsaw, with all the shiny bits and the cool bits and the vintage goth bits and the right kind of eyeliner and the right kind of phrases and language and diction and attitude and smartness and everything.
Yeah.
So you
कि मैं दिखा दूं दुनिया को कि मैं कौन हूँ, मेरी पर्सनालिटी क्या है.
Correct. So all that in your 20s, you think, हाँ, मैं वो सब हूँ, which is actually it's a jigsaw. It's a image that you're making in your head of yourself.
Yeah.
Still not you. It's borrowed.
Yeah.
It's totally borrowed from other people.
Pop culture,
literature, and आज की दुनिया में तो of course social media.
Yeah.
In
Celebrities.
Yeah. Everything everybody's telling you of what is cool.
Yeah.
Or fantastic or powerful.
Yeah.
So you build that image of yourself. 30s what starts happening is those pieces of jigsaw काफी सारे घूम चुके होते हैं. You start feeling lighter. Some shiny bits are remaining that you're saying, yeah, that's kind of me.
Yeah.
This new piece that has come in which is interesting. I did not expect it. So you just feel lighter and more comfortable.
Yeah.
40s what happens is none of what you thought was your jigsaw is there anymore.
So completely new puzzle.
But when you look at yourself in the mirror, you know who you are. All the bits. And it's
Liberating, I imagine.
It's fantastic. It's that taking up space in your own mind, which we find it very hard to do.
Yeah.
Oh, hum serious ho gaye. But that you just stretch a little bit.
Yeah.
Inside.
फुर्सत में सीरियस बातें.
हाँ, serious भी तो
सीरियस बातें भी करनी. हाथ दीजिए जरा पहले अपना. मेहंदी बनाएंगे अब हम आपको. मैं लिखने की कोशिश करूंगी. I have a talent for this, guys.
You are so good at this. SBW.
But ये आपका writing process change हुआ है हर decade में as you've grown older as a dignified lady. आगे का बाद में लिखूंगी. Writing process, thoughts, as you've grown, matured as a woman, learned who you are as a person.
I think I just became. I allowed myself to write. I wrote Bulbbul when I turned 40. So that just goes to show that the first time that I wrote something for myself, that was just for me. I mean, I wrote it without the intention of wanting to direct it. But it's just that when I finished writing it, I didn't want to give it to anybody else. I was like, I'm going to direct
इतनी personal थी वो कहानी आपके लिए बुलबुल.
I just knew that I know the beating heart of this. I know every moment when her feet move back, what it will look like when her feet go back under the sari. I knew everything. I knew everything. I could see it because see, a writer, and that's not just me.
Anyone who writes their first feature at the very
कुछ
least.
दिन पहले सुदीप और मैं वही बात कर रहे थे कि एक्चुअली हम तो पेपर पे डायरेक्ट कर चुके होते हैं क्योंकि हमने देख ली ना. The very fact that it's on papers, we have already seen it.
With the short division and everything.
Yeah. So very few people are fortunate like Sudeep who then collaborated with directors. Every time you're writing stuff and then you're like, "Par aise thodi na bolna tha."
Haan.
You know, so that frustration happens.
Haan.
Cut to Sucharita because I'm dabbing.
Cut to me. That frustration happens because खासतौर पे जब आप अपनी पहली फिल्म लिखे एंड बुलबुल तो मुझे पता नहीं क्या हुआ था उस फिल्म का मुझे देख के जो मैंने रिव्यू मुझे इतना घुस के मैंने भी लिख दिया वो मुझे बट इट फेल्ट वेरी ऑनेस्ट राइट जब एज अ फिल्म क्रिटिक आप सच्ची फिल्म देखते हैं ऑनेस्ट फिल्म देखते हैं और लगता है कि लिखने वाले ने अपनी बड़ी सच्चाई से ऑनेस्टी से लिखी है तो वो रिव्यू निकलता है अंदर से देन यू वांट टू सॉर्ट ऑफ डाइसेक्ट इट एंड टॉक अबाउट द थीम्स एंड द लेयर्स एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट सो वाज बुलबुल दैट पर्सनल
Yeah, I
To
think
you?
it was personal. It was also what we were talking about ki when you're 40
Yeah.
and suddenly you look in the mirror and you know who you are and you suddenly start being so comfortable with yourself that you kind of become a soothsayer. So from the maiden, the
Hati-
mother, the crone starts kicking in. ये तो हैंडराइटिंग भी अच्छी है.
मेरी हैंडराइटिंग अच्छी है मैं इतनी टैलेंटेड लड़की हूँ ना दुनिया को पता नहीं है अभी
सिर्फ हर चीज आती है तुझे.
आप ट्राई तो करके देखो मैडम कितना गंदा लिखा है कितना गंदा लिखा है कैमरा को दिखाएं जरा
कहाँ है कैमरा?
वो है आपका कैमरा उधर 40 साल की होके अब आपको लगा इतना शीशे में देख के कि नाउ आई नो हु आई एम और अब मैं अपनी पहली फिल्म कहने के लिए तैयार हूँ
नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. कहानी comes to you from all sorts of places, comes and stands in corners of the rooms, tries to catch your eye. If you look at it directly, it runs away. So it's like that. And she came in the middle of the night at some 3:30 in the morning.
बुलबुल
Yeah.
चलती फिरती है
Or the image that came in, I woke up from deep sleep and I woke up and you know that when your नींद खुल जाती है पर आँख नहीं खुलती. I suddenly had this, it was like a waking dream kind of a thing.
lucid dreaming
Lucid dreaming, just this thing of a girl's feet going like this. Just like that.
yeah
Yeah. And
साड़ी के नीचे
and I sat up and I was like, कौन है? I was like, है तो बंगाली पे आलता लगा हुआ था.
दिख उतना दिख गया था आपको कि एक बंगाली लड़की के पैर
So I said, why
सपने में आए
was she doing that?
दुर्गा माँ आई है आपके सपने में
I was like, no. I was like, she, hi. I was like, chutu, like that.
बच्ची
So I was like, why is she doing that? Oh, she's scared. Why is she scared? Started out.
yeah हॉरर जॉनर की फैन है आप पढ़ती हैं पढ़ी हैं
Fantasy.
फैंटेसी जॉनर की फैन है
And thus, I mean, all horror is fantasy, but all fantasy necessarily does not mean that it would be horror.
चुड़ैलों की कहानियों से क्या रिलेशनशिप है आपका बचपन में आपने सुनी है चुड़ैलों की कहानियाँ
More than that, we are being called a chudail all the time. So you run too fast in the corridor, you're a chudail. Your hair is a mess, so you're a chudail. You are not playing ring a ring of roses with other people, but you are sitting in a corner like this.
you're a चुड़ैल
You're a chudail.
तो फिर सबकॉन्शियसली या कॉन्शियसली आप अपने काम में ये चुड़ैल को रिक्लेम भी तो कर रहे हो ना you're like just because you don't understand somebody who's a woman who's a part of your life doesn't make her an evil entity.
Yeah, absolutely. No one is. You are only afraid of something that you do not understand. A shirt on the back of a chair when you wake up in the middle of the night can be something, an intruder.
Yeah, give you a heart attack.
A noise that you don't understand will frighten you. The moment you give it shape and form, even in the best of horror films, the bogeyman is not scary anymore. The moment you can see it.
Yeah.
So what you do not know or understand, and lots of times could be just a normal woman. I'm not even saying she's a superhero. A normal woman. She's frightening.
That's why people call us chudails, no?
Correct.
Because what they don't understand about
We don't fit into the join the dots that they have made or the jigsaw
कि औरत की
और
ऐसी
दे
ऐसी
ऑल्सो दे अपसेट, वो जो मैंने कहा था ना 20s में एक जिक्स होता है शाइनी वाला, उनको लगता है देखो दिस इज चीटिंग ना, तुमने बोला था तुम 20s में, देखो तुम ऐसी थी,
पर्की थी
और तुम ये ऐसे क्यूट,
अग्रीएबल थी, सब बात मानती थी,
क्यूट थी और स्वीट थी,
अब तुम
ऐसे क्यों?
चुड़ैल.
चुड़ैल.
I love it. मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है चुड़ैल. If somebody calls me that word, I'm like, yeah, so then. आसिम अब्बासी ने बहुत बढ़िया एक सीरीज बनाई है चुड़ैल्स.
है ना?
बहुत अच्छी. आपने देखी है?
नहीं.
बहुत अच्छी सीरीज है.
मेरा दिल थोड़ा सा टूट गया था बिकॉज मैंने एक बहुत ही क्यूट स्मॉल टाउन विजिलेंटे फिल्म लिखी थी.
उसका नाम तो चुड़ैल्स.
नहीं, उसका नाम चुड़ैल नहीं था.
कॉन्सेप्ट सिमिलर था.
हाँ.
चुड़ैल्स तो बड़ी अच्छी सीरीज है.
मुझे देखनी है, मुझे बरज़क भी देखनी है.
हाँ, बट चुड़ैल्स मेरे ख्याल में बेहतर काम है. केक बड़ी अच्छी फिल्म उन्होंने बनाई थी.
I shall watch.
कला
मैं
का
ज़्यादा देखती नहीं हूँ. That you know about.
मैं भेज दूँ recommendations 3-4 देखने के लिए.
हाँ ठीक है. अमिताभ, I would rather read.
मान न मान, मैं तेरा मेहमान.
नहीं भेजो, मैं तुम्हें बुक्स की रिकमेंडेशन कुछ भेजूंगी.
जेन एयर से शुरू करेंगे.
बिल्कुल.
कला के बारे में जब आपकी और मेरी बात हुई थी 2023 में, तो आपने मुझे बताया था कि 10 साल पहले कला की कहानी लिखी थी आपने.
Immediately after बुलबुल.
2013 में. But when you approached the story then again 10 years later, did you want to change something in it because of the person that you had become in these 10 years?
No, it's not the person. The person that Kala had become, my skill of writing or whatever. You know, you become more critical. So you write, what they say, na, you write drunk and you edit sober.
Yeah.
So uske baad in sobriety, because so much time has passed.
Yeah.
You're still, of course, attached and indulgent.
Yeah.
But I write many drafts. The first draft of Bulbbul is not what you see on screen.
Of course, yeah.
Same with Qala. Many drafts were written. So,
पुराना काम आप revisit करते हो? Do you ever go back and sit with Bulbbul again, watch the whole film again, reflect on it?
Bulbbul, you know, I have that, I think it's that firstborn child attachment to Bulbbul. I can see, I knew it even then, that obviously it's my first time. I do not have the, वो जो कहते हैं ना, craft का knowledge, और वो जितना होता है, या at least picture बनाने के बाद थोड़ा बहुत तो आ ही जाता है. That I know. I mean, there are so many things that other people possibly can do better. But when I watch it, I feel delighted. I feel, you know, that film is full of, पता है तुम्हें last incident याद है जब तुमने कहा होगा कि the first time that I
did something or the other,
the first time that I felt water on my toes, so first time that I danced in the rain, or the first time that I saw the ocean, or the first time that I flew in a plane, the first time I saw a library, whatever, first time that I saw a film. You know that feeling? You remember that feeling? Do you remember the last time you felt like that? When you make a film for the first time, almost every day you can say that. It is, you feel like such a child, and you feel like a privileged child. And
कि ये सब करने मिल रहा है.
भाई, भाई साहब, पहले दिन I remember, I woke up, I was the first one, where we were staying, we were shooting over there. And I came out in my night suit with my coffee, and I sat much before. And the first people that started, the lighting department started coming. The gaffer came. Yeah. The light boys came. So it was full dark in this Haveli. And they couldn't see me. I was sitting on the steps. As the light people started seeing that, I was sitting over there. And I was watching. And that thought of, I still remember, I was in Goa when I wrote this. I still remember which room I wrote that. When I woke up and I wrote that story, I remember sitting in Goa and writing it. My friend Althea waking me up every morning so that I don't procrastinate any further. Yeah. And I was like, I sat and felt and thought and dreamt something alone. Everyone who's coming here, it just makes you're in awe of that moment. Yeah. And somewhere I think Bulbbul will always carry that. Yeah. For me ना, मैं वो वाला है मेरा कि मुझे, हाँ ठीक है, तुम्हें लगता होगा कि शॉर्ट है, पर मेरा बच्चा तो बहुत ही beautiful. I love. So
मेरा
I.
बच्चा ओलंपिक्स जाएगा देखना.
हाँ तुम देखो 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 गार्डन में कैसे भाग रहा है.
अरे गिर गया. So cute.
So cute, exactly. So I'm like that. Bulbbul, I cannot and
Find any flaws with.
no, I can see the flaws. I love
Despite.
that. Yeah, it'll always be special for me. The
आपका
first time that I worked with Siddharth, Meenal,
Yeah.
Meera,
Yeah.
Anshay was my creative producer. The first time Karnesh was my producer. I mean, everything was just, it was just perfect. What it makes me feel is perfect. The film might not be perfect. What it makes me feel is perfect. So that. nothing
ऐसे
can
ही
change
बहुत और टैलेंटेड लोगों का एक ग्रुप है एंड ऑल ऑफ यू आई हैव बीन टोल्ड हैव अ व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप टुगेदर सारे लिरिसिस्ट्स
हाँ.
जो सबने एक एक गाना लिखा कला में. स्वानंद, अमिताभ, वरुण, कौसर
Kausar.
और आप. यू आर ऑल वेरी क्लोज, गुड फ्रेंड्स विद ईच अदर.
Yes.
कौसर मुनीर ऑफ कोर्स पहली फीमेल लिरिसिस्ट इंडस्ट्री में जिनको सोलो फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड मिला.
Yes.
कबीर खान की फिल्म 83 के लिए लहरा दो उन्होंने लिखा.
Yes.
Was that something that like you ever aspired to कि मैं औरतों को फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड नहीं मिलते गाने लिखने के लिए और मैं क्यों ना बनूं पहली, या वो बस हो गया कौसर को मिल गया and you're like अच्छा चलो गुड.
Bhai, I was doing, if I knew how to do cartwheels, I would have done that when she won that.
That
First,
83 के लिए.
see, first of all, it was just the thing of Kausar ko filmfare.
मेरी सहेली को फिल्म फेयर मिला है.
My friends as well. And I feel just as delighted जब अमिताभ को मिलता है, जब किसी को भी मिलता है.
हाँ.
तो किसी को भी मिलता है तो अच्छा लगता ही है. तुम्हारे दोस्तों को मिलता है, you feel
ज्यादा अच्छा लगता है.
बहुत अच्छा लगता है.
वो वही ना, वही फर्स्ट लव वाली बात है, फर्स्ट बच्चे वाले प्यार की बात है.
Correct.
हाँ.
So, and then I was like, wait a minute, no one has got it.
Solo. She's the first solo
Yeah.
lyricist, female lyricist.
Yeah.
In the history.
सोचो.
Of
और
Indian
जूते मारो.
पर कौसर को ये खुद ये रियलाइजेशन थी कि वो पहली बन गई, उनको कुछ रिकॉर्ड बना दिया उन्होंने ये गाना लिख के.
I don't know if she knew or she came to know of it. I don't know. I never
Yeah.
really discussed that with her, but I was just so thrilled that she. See, जब कोई और अच्छा काम करता है, someone who's talented shines, it gives you permission to be better. It's never something that you hanker for. It's not something that you desire of theirs.
Yeah.
They are giving you permission to be better. It's every time someone does something spectacular,
Yeah.
you're like, Hare, you just again give yourself, you open another door in your mind and you step.
But does that give you strength having this group of allies, these
Oh my
talented
God.
people एक साथ? अब मतलब सब दोस्त हैं, किसी को भी फोन कर सकती हूँ मैं.
Strength, joy, sense of safety,
Yeah.
the fact that you can be silly with someone, the fact that you can sit and have coffee, the fact that you can be in the same building and not meet for 2 months
And it's fine.
The fact is कि वरुण और कौसर की चाबियां हैं मेरे घर में, किचन में वो एक ग्लास में ना चाबी, जो डुप्लीकेट चाबी रहती है कि कभी भी खोल के. बीच में my parents were in the house and I just could not write. I was trying to write something. Because it, you know, there's a whole commotion going on. There's
Yes.
some 3 helpers, everything. I was sitting and writing in Kausar's house.
Yeah.
Chabi, like, yeah.
How lovely.
It's so to have that.
It's so nice. ऐसा कोई actively incident आपको याद आता है where you feel like you turn to these friends, except when your parents come to visit and you're like, can I come to your house please, my mother is driving me insane. But when you've turned to them professionally to be like, I'm a little stuck, what do I do?
Oh, we have that WhatsApp group. उस पे
यही होता है.
हाँ. नहीं, ये ही नहीं होता, पर हाँ ये होता है, यार मैं यहाँ अटक गई हूँ या अटक गया हूँ, या इसका काफिया नहीं मिल रहा. तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि ये अगर यूज करेंगे, इस वाली लाइन में उर्दू यूज करेंगे इस तरह से, तो उसका मीनिंग ठीक बैठेगा?
तो इतना मतलब you all are sharing with each other कि ये word का meaning and all that.
Yeah.
How nice.
We know there are times when someone will say कि अच्छा यार मैंने उसको बोला है कि ये तुमसे लिखवा लेगा ना, ये तुम्हारा है ज़्यादा मुझसे. This is normal.
बिखरने का मुझको
See, I'm so smart.
शौक है बड़ा.
That's my greatest talent.
कौन लिखेगा ये गाना? और स्वानंद के नहीं गाएंगे तो कौन गाएगा इस गाने को?
अरे every song the right person wrote that. That's what I believe.
The men that you write in your films, बुलबुल में भी और कला में भी. कला में बाबिल खान तो मतलब I thought he was very good, and especially when he sings those songs. And the first, जब मैं बता रही हूँ, जब पहले trailers या teasers या पहली looks आनी शुरू हुई कला की, तो वो बर्फ ही बर्फ और चारों तरफ मतलब सिर्फ सफ़ेद दिखाई दे रहा है और कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा, और उस बीच में एक आवाज़ आती है और बाबिल की first look appears and my heart stopped. एक तो because he looks like a copy of his father.
Yeah.
My heart stopped. I had no idea what Babil Khan looked like until the first Qala teaser came out. And I was like, then I watched the whole thing and everything. But the masculine characters that you write also, especially this one in Babil and then Avinash's character in Bulbbul, they're sort of soft masculinity. They're not, Babil specifically plays a character who's not out there to like, so talk to me about creating the male characters that you do.
I think just as so much of your writing is, it's your imagination, it's whatever, it's this strange way your brain functions when you create stories and characters. That's why you do it, and you do it to make sense of the world, to make sense of your life, and that is just who you are. You will spin a yarn.
Yeah.
You are that person. So I think a lot of it is that. What informs you is the life that you've lived and the people that you've met. I've met people who are Satya.
These men.
Yeah, I've met Jagan. So I've met Dr. Sudeeps of the world. So I know them.
Yeah.
So whether there are these wonderful, beautiful, kind, generous men in the world, and I happen to know a lot of them. So that I guess they seep into my stories as well, because I want to say कि हम soapbox पे चढ़ के ये नहीं बोल रहे कि हाय बेचारी औरतें या she justified, she's angry, जला दो and all men are terrible.
Yeah.
That is not true.
Yeah. And you bring that into the way you write.
I hope. I try.
But when you're writing somebody else's brief, when you're writing a screenplay or when you're writing dialogue or when you're writing a song, do you find it difficult to separate yourself from that? कि किसी को कोई गाना लिखवाना है, something maybe you don't agree with, or a dialogue in a situation that you're like, it's just because you're a writer and you tell stories and you're not happy with the scene and the way the scene is crafted and you think it's unfair to either character. Do you find that hard to separate yourself from that?
Of course, it's hard. See, also you want to do what is right by the story and by the character. उस दुनिया में और उस दायरे में क्या करेक्ट है, तुम्हारे अंदर जो एक कंपस है जो तुम्हें बोल रहा है क्या सही है, क्या गलत है, तो मैं कह रही हूँ just as an equation, if I say कि 3 ड्राफ्ट है, उनके भी 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 भी लिखे जाते हैं, but I'm saying मोटा मोटा 3 ड्राफ्ट है.
हाँ.
मैं 2 ड्राफ्ट तक I will step in and say कि I'll do what is required of me. I'm a commissioned writer. It's my job.
Yeah. I'll deliver.
I will deliver. I'll do a bloody good job. You will be very happy.
Yeah.
And wherever I feel the need, wherever I can change things to shift the needle,
yeah,
I will do it very gently without anyone hopefully even realizing that it has shifted things in a certain way. Or I will step up and say, ki, I think this might be a little problematic. Or it could just be, yaar, ye scene kaam nahi kar raha. It's nothing to do even about the moral compass.
Nothing. It's just like in this, it's just not making logical sense.
It's not making logical sense. Then the third draft, I'm like, नौकरी पे आओ. नहीं, it's not about giving up. It is about you, आपको लाया गया है यहाँ पे पिलर बनाने के लिए. ठीक है? आपका मन किया आप इस पे कमल वमल बनाएंगे. किसी ने नहीं मांगा था कमल. कभी कभी क्या बोलेगा, हाँ यार ये तो बहुत अच्छा तूने कमल बना दिया पिलर पे, बहुत सुंदर. Then you're like, मैं 3 और बनाऊंगा. Then like, नहीं, नीचे एक ठीक था, रुक जाओ, ठहर पाप. This is fine. और somebody से भाई एक स्क्वायर पिलर मांगा था तुझसे, दे. You're good at your job. You know how to make this pillar. Make it.
Yeah.
Why the hell are you saying मैं इसमें swirl डालूंगी पर इसमें ना politically correct एक ये symbol होगा? नहीं चाहिए.
जिस काम के लिए बुलाया,
जिस काम के लिए बुलाया वो शिद्दत से करो. You are being a better कर्म योगी.
Yeah, at your job.
At your job. You are being a better human being. And you also, with each project, you learn to navigate. How do I make that conversation happen better, where I can And sometimes you could be wrong. Maybe you're reading, you're jumping at shadows.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I see the reaction to certain things that are out there, the public love that certain things get, I'm like, forget about needle. कंपस जो है मैंने ऐसे करके समंदर में फेंक दिया.
क्योंकि कोई आइडिया नहीं है कि why is this earning
And
so
then
much money and so many people are going
yeah,
to watch this
the
movie.
पैसे वैसे ठीक है, I'm saying love.
Yeah.
Something is resonating. पैसे वैसे की तो मैं बात ही नहीं कर रही.
तो रेजोनेट हो रहे तभी तो टिकट खरीद रहे हैं लोग.
हाँ, तो अब रेजोनेट कर रहा है तो two things happen.
हाँ.
One is कि तुम सब पागल हो.
हाँ.
मैं कितनी अच्छी हूँ.
हाँ.
और evolved हूँ.
हाँ.
Okay. The other is, it's a little scary, but you sit down and you think, okay, what worked? Some things answers will be like, does this mean that the majority out there thinks like this?
What is it that I am not getting about this?
Yeah, so then you think like a storyteller. So then you take one step further back. What works in the story?
Yeah.
Which beat in the story worked? What is there in the editing? What's there in the music? What is it that something is coming together and people are loving it?
Yeah.
It's easy for me to then get on a high horse as a woman telling woman stories and say कि you know, इस देश में ये problem है.
No.
Men are actually that regressive, which is why they're loving it.
Yeah.
It could just be that the filmmaker, there is, you know, एक beat, एक music, कुछ, something comes together. It's a magic potion.
Yeah.
None of us know how it happens.
Yeah.
Someone cracks it.
Yeah.
He cracked it.
All you can do is try to figure out how.
How? Maybe not even how. You start saying, okay, just as a storyteller, you say, oh yeah, that's interesting. That really works as a story beat, as a screenplay moment. So you start doing that. I mean,
But does that's my next question. Is that does then that give you the greed to then maybe pander a little bit more to that audience that is resonating with
भाई अब तो हम
X, Y or
52
Z?
के हो गए. अब हमसे पैंडर पुंडर नहीं होता.
पैंडर पुंडर नहीं होता अब.
फोन पे तुसी रहन दो. अब मुझसे अभी पसीना पोंछ के ये बता रही हूँ कि पैंडर तो नहीं होता भाई अब हमसे.
बट वही है ना, जब आप देखें 52 के हो गए बट एक्टिव फिल्म मेकर तो हो ना. फिल्में तो अभी भी बेचनी है ना.
किड, आई एम अ रूकी फिल्म मेकर, आई मेड ओनली 2
तो फिल्में तो बेचनी है ना अभी भी जाके. पैसे तो चाहिए मार्केट से कि कोई आपकी फिल्म फंड करे. पर तो फिर आप भी तो बैठ के सोचोगे ना कि ये फिल्म पैसे कैसे कमाएगी. मैं किसी प्रोड्यूसर को जाके बोलूं कि मुझे इतने पैसे दे दो, मुझे मेरी फिल्म बनानी है.
हाँ.
तो उसके लिए वो नहीं आती ग्रीड कि मैं भी कर लूं थोड़ा सा पैंडर, मेरी फिल्म भी पैसे कमा ले तो अगली फिल्म बनाना आसान हो जाए.
भाई पिक्चर पैसा कमाए वो तो मुझे चाहिए कि प्रोड्यूसर के लिए, बिकॉज प्रोड्यूसर इज एवरीबडी who is believing in you and the story.
दाव लगा रहे हैं आपके ऊपर.
Needs to
हाँ.
get that. But honestly, you know, सुचारिता, देखो, suppose मेरे घर के पीछे बेर के पेड़ लगे हैं. तो मैं मंडी में
घर के पीछे बेर के पेड़.
घर के पीछे बेर के पेड़ लगे हुए, तो मैं मंडी में टोकरी ले जाके बेर ही बेचूंगी ना. वहां जाके ये तो नहीं बोलूंगी ना ब्लूबेरीज. So
दोबारा करते हैं एक बार.
ब्लूबेरीज. देखो बेर है मेरे पास.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
तो आपकी कहानी वो है जो आपकी खेती में आपने उगाई है.
हाँ जी.
अब उसको बाहर जाके मतलब सडनली कोई और टोपी छोटी ड्रेस बना के विद अ केन लाइक सेइंग लाइक ना इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन.
Yeah.
सो जो मैंने मेरी कमाई है, जो मेरी खेती है, आई विल टेक इट. हमेशा कोई बेर खरीदने वाला
मिल ही जाएगा.
तो वो नीचेस बास्केट में भी प्लग
ब्लैकबेरीज,
ब्लूबेरीज वगैरह सब मिलेगा.
हाँ.
बट समटाइम्स जब सीजन होता है वहाँ बेर भी होता है.
सही बात.
एंड देयर आर पीपल हु बाय इट. सो
हमें बेर उगाने आते हैं, हम बेर ही बेचेंगे.
हम बेर ही बेचेंगे.
हम ब्लूबेरी बेचेंगे तो पता चल जाएगा लोगों को कि ये नकली है.
हम झूठ
पेस्टिसाइड है इसमें.
तो हैविंग सेड दैट, मैं I've been told I'm good with humor. Okay, मैंने फनी डायलॉग्स भी लिखे हैं, फनी गाने भी लिखे हैं. And when it came naturally, when the story wanted to be funny,
Yeah.
I wrote a funny story.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've written. It's not like कि नहीं मैं तो अब सीरियस हूँ.
मैं
अब मैं फेमिनिस्ट रिविजनिस्ट फेरी टेल बताऊंगी.
I can write comedy. I can write thriller. I can write
I
whatever
will
the hell
write
I want.
whatever this person who walks into the room and wants me to write the story.
I
as
will
in
deliver.
my head.
Yeah.
My characters will decide what that story wants to be. If it wants to be funny, it will be funny. If it wants to be serious, it will be serious. It's okay.
एक कॉन्सेप्ट ग्लोबल सिनेमा में बड़ा पॉपुलर हो रहा है और इंडिया में भी आ रहा है और हो रहा है पॉपुलर यहाँ पे भी, इज दैट ऑफ एन इंटीमेसी कोऑर्डिनेटर.
हाँ.
जो सेट पर मौजूद रहते हैं फॉर वेरियस रीजंस दैट यू अंडरस्टैंड क्यों ज़रूरी होते हैं. एंड दीज पीपल आर ट्रेन्ड इन द प्रोफेशन. उनको सिखाया गया है कि ये कैसे करना है. What are the things that you're looking for that are happening on a set that you need to advise the director on, and you look after the actors, and more often than not look after the female actors on the
Correct.
set. More often than not, of course, you have to look after everyone who's on the set when you're an intimacy coordinator. एक और role है that is being discussed, which is a gender sensitivity coordinator. वो set पर नहीं आएंगे, पर वो पहले से available हैं director के लिए for your writing process. कि अगर आपको लग रहा है कि कुछ ब्लाइंड स्पॉट्स हैं मेरे और मैं नहीं समझ पा रही हूँ और नहीं समझ पा रहा हूँ कि ये सही, am I doing the right thing by this character in this scene or in this moment, you send it to that coordinator and then they go through it. Do you think something like that could help the process of writing a film, creating a story?
Not creating the story. When you're editing cold, when you're going on the floors, when you are ready to make a film, when you're ready to back a film. Of course it can, and it depends on the storyteller. So, if you are making Dracula,
Yeah.
and you are adapting Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is epic. I mean, that's what turned me to fantasy, by the way, that book. I read it when I was in the 7th.
Yeah.
Someone can't come and tell you, देखो तुम ना, can't. Blood and a man feeding on this girl's neck would be wrong if you were to tell Bram Stoker that.
Yeah.
Or any. So कहानी की दुनिया में वो जितना सच बोल सकती है कहानी, उसको बोलने
पहले वो
बोलने दो.
हाँ जी.
उसके बाद अगर आप मतलब ऐसे करके while you are doing location recce and doing other things, doing साथ में अपने ऐसे red flag वो कर रहे हो, तो someone should be there say, ठहर पापी, रुक जा जरा सोच ले. Maybe you were just too busy.
Yeah.
Maybe you were just too stressed.
Right.
You know, just to get a film greenlit, Sucharita. कि कोई एक तो हाँ बोल दे.
It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
How films get.
कोई हाँ बोल दे, कोई पैसे दे दे, तो कोई तुम्हें बोल दे कि हाँ भाई तो हम तुम्हें बिलीव करते हैं तुम्हारी कहानी में, ये लो बना लो.
हाँ.
वो चाहे बोल भी दे फिर पैसे भी नहीं देते. तो मतलब when you find that when all that you're going through, there are things that you might miss.
Yes.
Sometimes you might miss it because you were in the heat of writing it and getting that story out across in the best possible way, and you missed it.
Yeah.
Or someone else has written it for you and you are just so excited to make it, or you found finally after 7 years found a producer who's willing to make it, and 4 alag bandon ne, from studio to producer to coordinator, has said कि ये बदल दो, वो बदल दो, ये बदल दो, और तुमने शायद बदल भी दिया. हाँ मैं ये गाना बदल देता हूँ, हाँ this will be more popular, अच्छा एक वो वाला टाइप का भी गाना ले आते हैं, एल्बम बिक जाएगी. कोई बोलता है ये पूरी एल्बम बिक जाएगी, तो उसमें जो 3 अमेजिंग गाने जो द सोल ऑफ द फिल्म, उसके लिए तुम्हें एक ये गाना करे, तुम कह रहे हाँ भाई मेरे को पिक्चर बनाने दो, मेरी कहानी बताने दो. तो हाँ शायद मिस हो गया इस सब में. तो it's great to have like a litmus test. Yes, do not come and say change this, do not give me a solution. Tell me, you know what, there might be an issue here, there might be an issue here. See as a storyteller how you can address it. Be as sensitive to the storyteller as you are being sensitive to the gender.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, or to intimacy.
Yeah.
Be as sensitive to the storyteller and the story. Trust them also.
You know, Raghav said a great thing yesterday in my interview. Having an intimacy coordinator on set is not a demand, it is my right as an actor.
That's genius. Correct.
And he said that as a male actor, कि वो मेरा हक है, वो मुझे चाहिए, because he also doesn't want to do any missteps.
No, I think intimacy coordinator is one of the best things that have happened.
Yeah.
the best thing that has happened.
Have you had on your set, so you going forward?
No, but moving
quite
forward,
yet.
yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't have, but I am super sensitive and super, but of course you're in the middle of doing many things, and I hope everyone felt safe. I think everyone felt safe on my set. Surrounded also by women and very gentle men.
Yeah.
And in the case of Bulbbul, there was Rahul,
Yeah.
who was
Rahul Bose.
just amazing.
I've never met him. Is he nice?
Oh my God.
He seems like he's a nice guy.
He's lovely.
Yeah.
He's super sharp, very intelligent. So can be intimidating for some people.
वो तो थोड़ा वो सीनियरिटी से भी इंटिमिडेशन हो जाएगा ना,
ये क्यों नहीं कर रही मैं?
है ना, क्योंकि हवा में वो माइक में जाएगी आवाज.
माइक में जा रही है अब?
है ना, माइक में जाएगी आवाज. नहीं, लास्ट वाले आखिर बता दो मेरे को ये लास्ट में.
हाँ.
कि अगर आपको माइक में जा रही है आवाज, अगर आपको अनलिमिटेड पैसे मिल जाएं कि ये बजट है, अन्विता जा खेल, पापी जो करना है कर, क्या करोगे आप? जो चाहिए मिलेगा.
जो चाहिए मिलेगा. तो पहले तो मैं अपनी स्क्रिप्ट फिर से फीडबैक के लिए भेजूंगी, क्योंकि अगर कोई तुम्हें इतना फ्रीडम दे रहा है, then what you are making better be as many people can check it and say कि भाई.
So you'll hire someone to be like,
No,
फिर से
I don't. I'm very lucky. I don't need to hire.
WhatsApp पे है सारे दोस्त.
मोतवानी को जाएगी स्क्रिप्ट फिर से, सुदीप को जाएगी, नवदीप
तो you'll
को
buy the
जाएगी,
luxury of time.
देवशीष को जाएगी. Yes. कि मैं सांस लेके इस पे काम कर सकूं. मैं किसी के लिए आंसरेबल नहीं हूँ कि अब मुझे see it has comes with caveats. So you say इतना सारा पैसा, then they'll say hire so and so, cast so and so,
Superstar.
music इसी के साथ करो. So I don't want that much money.
So you don't want that much freedom also.
I want enough money कि अगर जैसे कला मैंने 36 दिनों में शूट की थी, बुलबुल 32. So 32 days and 36 days. For me more money is that I could have 40 में ना आराम से हो जाती, 40 दिन में
4 करोड़ और आ जाते तो,
कि वो उतना ज्यादा
4 दिन और आ जाते, 4 करोड़.
वीरा को और बजट मिल जाता थोड़ा सा, मीनल को और बजट मिल जाता थोड़ा सा. हमको वो जो कमरा काटना पड़ा और वहाँ से सीन्स चेंज करने पड़े क्योंकि पैसे नहीं थे यार. वहाँ पे दीवार थोड़ी सी रन आउट हो रही थी बिकॉज उतनी हाइट नहीं दे सकते थे, महंगा होता है. द फैक्ट दैट यू आर टेलिंग पीपल यार मेरे लिए थोड़ा सा कम कर दो, वो नहीं करना पड़े.
अपनी फीस कम कर दो, रेम्यूनरेशन कम कर दो.
हाँ, कि यार पैसे नहीं है, वो ना करना पड़े. मुझे उतने पैसे चाहिए कि what the कहानी wants. I might have a story where the entire budget of Qala gets over in the first 20 minutes. But that is what the story wants. I don't want that money. I want what the story wants and what everybody who will enable that film
Yeah.
should get to make it possible.
Yeah.
उससे ज़्यादा मैं पैसे लेके मैंने क्या घर थोड़ी ना ले जाना, मेरी जेब में थोड़ी ना जाएगा.
एक भी मैं एडवाइस देती हूँ, अगर आपको पैसे मिले तो ड्राइंग क्लासेस ले लेना है. स्टोरी बोर्डिंग क्लासेस.
चांद में भी दाग.
स्टोरी बोर्डिंग, मेरा दाग ये देखिए मेरे हाथ पे लंबे चढ़े.
किसका हाथ ज्यादा अच्छा
ये
लग रहा
हाथ में टिश्यू दबोच के बैठी है ऐसे 1 घंटे से.
है? इस हाथ में टिश्यू है,
उस हाथ में भी पकड़ा हुआ था तुमने अभी.
किसका हाथ ज्यादा सुंदर लग रहा है? प्रे टेल.
Storyboard classes, petition to raise funds for storyboard lessons for Anvita Dutt. Thank you so much. This was really fun. I'm so glad that you came despite the heat and despite the aeroplanes flying above us.
Bye.
Thank you. May you keep making movies and may I keep reviewing them and may you keep getting calls from your friends saying Sucharita को समझ में आ गई.
Correct.